Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
And we are following that breaking news on Detroit's west side, where a police officer is dragged while trying to make a traffic stop. That driver then took off and was later spotted driving the wrong way on 8 Mile before crashing.
Fortunately, the officer is going to be okay. Tim Pamplin on the scene with the night cam. Tim.
This chase coming to an end at 8 Mile in Leisure after the driver of that Kia and his female friend in the vehicle ended up crashing into that light pole and fence. They're in the back of the cruisers here now, going downtown to get questioned. It was a hair-raising chase at the end when the driver decides to go the wrong way down busy 8 Mile Road here. Fortunately, didn't hit anybody. Just ended up hitting that fence and that utility pole there. Police say they pulled this guy over for a traffic violation and then saw a gun in his vehicle. They opened up the door, ordered him out. He then took off, dragging a police officer just a short distance. The chase was on around the 8 Mile Wyoming area here, and that's when they lost control after going the wrong way down 8 Mile Road. No injuries to report, but a very dangerous situation indeed along 8 Mile with the night cam. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
All right, Tim, our other top story at this hour. We're just hours away from classes starting at Oakland University. Or are we? It may not happen if the faculty administration can't hammer out a new contract in the next hour.
That contract was extended a year ago to get through COVID and again this month for a few days. But the faculty says tonight's midnight deadline is it. Yeah. Jason Colthorpe is live at Oakland University tonight as negotiations are ongoing as we speak. Jason.
They are, both sides meeting with the state mediator as we speak, quite literally going into the 11th hour. The update I got just a few moments ago was no new progress, and if they can't reach an agreement, it would mean hundreds of faculty and staff will not be in the classrooms here or the buildings here come tomorrow.
The two sides are about as far apart as you can be.
That's after 10 hours of negotiation on Tuesday and another 11 hours Wednesday. Michael Latcha, an associate professor for engineering and computer science, says the two sides have been talking since mid-May, but it was when the administration slashed their proposal for higher wages earlier this month that things got rocky.
It was pretty much shock, because we've heard for the last year and a half that the administration was very appreciative of the way that we stepped up. We pivoted to online courses within 4 days in March of 2020. However, at the moment, they're claiming that they have this huge deficit that essentially is they're trying to put on us.
That led to the faculty authorizing a strike last week. Although as public employees, they can't legally strike, so they don't call it that.
We will perhaps withhold our services, yes.
A frightening possibility for the 880 some odd faculty members who were looking forward to seeing their students on Thursday.
Faculty lost in contracts past. We're looking for a fair and equitable contract.
Now, the university didn't want to officially comment on how the negotiations are going or what any sticking points are, so no word from them at this point. Several students, though, are quite curious. We talked to a few out here who were hoping we could shed some light on if they would be going to class tomorrow, and unfortunately, at this point, we cannot. Kim?
So Jason, is that the sticking point then, salaries?
It sounds like the entire economic package, which also includes some travel expenses and some other things. The way it was characterized to me, at least from the teacher side of it now, we're talking about the professors, that the university has not budged on any money from the beginning of this month, and that's kind of where they're in a state of shock, for lack of a better phrase. Yeah. Back to you.
Okay, keep us posted, Jason. We appreciate it.
The Detroit Symphony Orchestra announces its COVID safety policies for its concert season.
The DSO will require proof of vaccination or negative COVID test for entry. It'll also require all concert goers to wear a mask while inside. Meanwhile, the state reports an average of 2,247 new cases and 91 deaths over the past 2 days. CDC is advising those who aren't vaccinated to avoid Labor Day travel. And as students return to school, Governor Whitmer maintains she will let districts decide mask policies.
We're not debating use of broad mandates at this point in time. We now have tools. Every one of us makes use of these tools. We will get through this and we can keep our kids in school and our economy re-engaged.
The governor says right now about 60% of Michigan students are in districts that require masks.
Twitter is being subpoenaed to hand over all the documentation on an account that appears to have posted about the Whitmer kidnap plot before anything was ever made public. A Twitter account which court records say is tied to an FBI agent on the case. Mara McDonald live downtown at the federal courthouse. And Mara, tonight a judge is siding with the defense.
That their clients were entrapped by the FBI in all of this, and this move to try and get Twitter to cough up all this info, well, that's just the latest move in trying to prove it. Let me show you. The Twitter account in question is documented in the motion. @Ravaging has more than 47,000 followers, and tweets from the account, including this one from December of 2019, before the Whitmer kidnap investigation was underway, have lawyers for 5 of the defendants asking Twitter to turn over everything on this account. In the motion that attorneys filed and a judge granted, they are tying that Twitter account to FBI Special Agent Jason Chambers, who worked the Whitmer kidnap plot case. That account has since deleted these tweets shown in the motion and changed its bio, which at one point called itself the CEO of X Intel, an LLC out of New Mexico, whose mailing address is a UPS store in Clarkston, according to court records, belongs to Chambers. It bills itself as an online security firm which detects and deters cyber threats. Lawyers want Twitter to hand over the data on the Ravaging account to see if it was Chambers or his associates apparently tweeting about the Michigan investigation. And did the Bureau know this was going on? And does Chambers have approval to have an outside company while being an active duty agent? Back here live, the judge granting the defense motion in this case, ordering the U.S. Marshals to serve that subpoena on Twitter. We're live downtown tonight at the federal court. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Some kind of development there. All right, Mara.
A police chase in Pontiac ends with 2 men and a teenager in custody. Deputies were chasing them after a woman reported being robbed at gunpoint inside her apartment Friday night. When deputies tried to stop the suspect's truck, the driver took off before hitting another car. All 4 suspects inside tried making a run for it. 3 of the 4 suspects are arrested and are now charged with armed robbery. Deputies are still searching for that 4th suspect.
After a summer with so many power outages, DTE Energy announces it's going to spend $70 million for tree trimming. The investment is in addition to the $190 million the utility already spends on tree trimming every year. But the extra money will help add 300 additional tree trimmers and 200 additional line crews. That announcement comes as Attorney General Dana Nessel is looking into the utility. She's been asking anyone who's had extended power losses this summer to contact her office.
Drivers in Plymouth have taken notice of poor conditions at some railroad crossings, and they're letting the city and township hear about it.
Yeah, residents have complained about a number of CSX crossings, but the city and township say the crossings are the railroad's responsibility, and on top of that, they're federally regulated. Plymouth is advising drivers to call CSX directly with complaints.
State troopers arrest the driver of a stolen Dodge Charger after a chase in Detroit. State police say the driver crashed into a median and another car on eastbound Davison after driving away from police last night. That driver then tried to run and was taken into custody after being tased. Troopers say they found a loaded 9mm pistol and about $10,000 cash inside that vehicle. Still ahead, a chiropractor under fire for offering up mask exemptions to anyone who wanted one.
I'm not trying to do something that is shady, irreputable, unethical.
Families lined up outside his office to get an exemption for their child. Now the school district is changing its policy. It's coming up. Let's check in with Andrew.
And Kimberly and Devin, what a great start to September, right? Beautiful sunshine, warm conditions, comfortable, and we're cooling off nicely with temperatures in the 60s so far. How low do temperatures go? We'll talk about that, tomorrow's forecast, and a look at what fall 2021 may have in store in your weather forecast.
All right, Andrew, but first, the feds raid the Book Cadillac Hotel in downtown Detroit as part of a push to get opioids off the streets. That's next.